Shalom. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Brakatha. Yahweh Shemal Ladon Ba'Shem Yahushua to the sisters. I'm President Captain TITHES with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, telling you to come out to the 52nd annual Passover under Commanding General YAHANNA. Yeah, man, it's going to be at the ranch, man, the BH Ranch. And it's going to be a glorious event. April 24th, come to Houston, Texas, where we going to serve the Lord the way he's supposed to be served. You understand? We going to celebrate the destruction of our enemy in the BH Ranch, and it's going to be a glorious event. Make sure you come out, man. It's going to be a $200 fee to get in, but let me tell you something. You're going to enjoy yourself. This is going to be the best event you've ever been to in your life. So I'm going to tell you, man, 1414 9 Player Street, come out, man, and enjoy the brotherhood and sisterhood under Christ. With that, shalom.
It's wild. All right, let's clap it up. All right, man, all right. Shalom, Israel, shalom. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Brakatha to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'Shem Yahushua to the sisters. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group or Christian organization, and we teach the truth according to the Bible, and that's that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the real ethnic Jews, according to the historical records found in the Bible. You probably know the Bible is black history. You understand? The Bible has all of our records that pertain to us. The Bible is not talking to no other set of people except the people who live in the ghettos, the barrios, and reservations. You understand? And what's so sad is we don't even know we are special people. Like, we going around trying to do what everybody else do when we are so special to people. They got this challenge on Facebook, TikTok now, called the Fufu Challenge. For those of you that don't know what that is, Fufu is okay, this is my opinion when I say this. Some of y'all brothers and sisters out there might like the garbage, but this is my personal opinion. Fufu is an African dish. It's like they take plantain and cassava, and they pound it and mix it up into almost like a sticky dough. And they take the sticky dough and they put it in some type of soup, and then they just sop it up in the soup and just swallow it in true Hamite fashion. Of course, black people thinking we Africans have flocked to the internet trying to do the Fufu Challenge. And what we finding out is that is garbage. Most of us don't like the garbage because guess what? Africans are not our people. An African woman could never cook like a black woman. An African woman could never cook like a Hispanic or Native American woman. An African woman couldn't even smell like a black woman. Forget about cooking. An African woman, she got all types of products and Vagiseals and all types of Summer's Eves and oils, and she still cannot smell the way a black woman does. Can't you see by now we're not the same people as them? But the problem with us, social media has led so many of our people to think that we are one people and that we all can do what everybody does. When the Lord is absolutely against that, man. There's nothing wrong with having fun, but at some point in time, you got to say, all right, let's get serious about some things, man. Let's get serious. While we out having fun, our people are being destroyed. I can understand if we having fun and America is ours. We got our own nation. Then hell, everybody do the TikTok challenge, you know? Hell, if we had the heathens in our kingdom, they'd do the fried chicken challenge. You understand? They'll do the yams and macaroni and cheese challenge. But we are in somebody else's kingdom, serving another people. You understand? The time for fun is very limited, man. And we should keep that in mind. Before we get to the topic, I'm priest and officer of 1,000 Kazakh Ahmad. This is I.S.U.P.K, Washington, D.C. You understand? And tonight is the Wednesday night law class. If you got any questions, type them in the chat. Let's get your questions. Get them in. Get them in. You understand? If you got any questions in the room, we're going to get those now. Any questions in the room? Or what, if you could, just come check on this computer, see if we got anything on there, rocking and rolling. Anybody got any questions in the room at all?
We too wild for right now.
Too wild. Okay. If not, let's go into something I wanted to get into before we get into the topic. Let's go to Jeremiah 48. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 11. Now, what we're going to go into real quick right here is, for everybody, once again, the topic of tonight is internet challenges, you understand, and the deception of social media. And so we're going to go into a couple of things, because lately there's been a lot of different things that have been trending on social media. The first main one that we've noticed, it's been a little couple of days now, but Asian Americans are having a rallying cry to stop the hate against their people.
Right.
You understand? And in true slave fashion, black people rallied behind Asian Americans on social media. Hashtag stop the hate, stop the racism. You understand? America is passing legislation to stop hate against Asians. Meanwhile, Tamir Rice was murdered for no reason. And nobody passed legislation for Tamir Rice. Somebody just shot up, I think it was, a store in Colorado a couple of days ago. The grocery store. Killed 10 people. Did they murder him when they came to get him? Absolutely not. They walked him out and he was able to live to see another day. Tamir Rice was a 12-year-old boy at a park with a toy gun. And the police officer, the racist devil, pulled up on him and within 3 seconds, pulled up on him, got out the car and shot and killed Tamir Rice. Now you tell me, where's the hashtag stop the hate? Where's the hashtag stop the racism? Where's the legislation to protect black people? For all you stupid Negroes out there, and I'm calling you stupid out of love, because it is absolutely stupid for you to side with people who don't need you to side with them. I'm going to show you in the Bible how the Lord sides with us. And I'm going to prove to you how in the Bible, the Asians have never suffered what we have suffered. It's right here in the scriptures. For all you Negroes that want to rally behind Asian Americans and they so-called struggle. Let's read this. Whoever got it, let's go ahead and read.
Jeremiah, chapter 48, verse 11. Moab have been at ease from his youth.
Stop right there. Who was Moab, according to the Bible? Go ahead.
So I can serve on me, Chinese.
The progenitor of who we know today to be the Chinese. Now, you're probably wondering, this doesn't say Chinese. Where in the Bible does it say Chinese? Because you're simple. You're unlearned. I won't call you stupid for that one. You unlearned. Just like every race of people today has a name, we've also had names before. You understand? Like what we call the races of people today is not their biblical or historical names. You know how you know? Just go and see what they call black people's 50. Shalom says, look what they called black people 40, 50 years ago. What were we called 50 years ago? What was our race as black people 50 years ago? Go ahead, double down. Colored. Before that, we was Afro-Americans and Negroes and black. We get called everything but who we really are. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are Israelites. You understand? That's the name of our race. You understand? Because we come from a man named Israel. According to the Bible, the so-called Chinese race comes from a man named Moab. That's who they come from. You understand? So that's who this scripture is referring to right here. It's talking to the so-called Chinese man. You understand? The ones that's in the Shalom says, the ones that's in our neighborhoods, selling us that dog and cat, that General Soul cat, and that sweet and spicy rat tail, and all that garbage. So dog laughing. Listen, man, I ain't gonna lie, we used to tear that up. We were so wicked. This is before we knew about the truth, but we were so stupid. We knew we wasn't eating regular food, but we still went back. That's the water. That's the water. The water. We knew this is not chicken. I didn't see my mama cook chicken all my life, and I've never seen chicken that looked like this. The texture not the same, the color not the same. That's who they are. You understand? Moab is the so-called Chinese people today. And we reading about Moab in the scriptures. You didn't know the Chinese man was mentioned in the Bible, did you? No, because your pastor does not know the scriptures. I'm going to show you right here. The Lord is telling you why you should not rally behind the Asians and their so-called struggle. Read that. Tell them where you at, Dawah, so everybody can get it. Bob, the show.
Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 11. Moab had been at ease from his youth.
The Bible says Moab have been at ease from his youth. Can anybody break down what this is saying? I know it's a stretch, but somebody break it down. Go ahead, Dawah.
He's never struggled.
That's pretty much what it's saying. It's saying Moab, as a people, have never endured what other races of people have endured, let alone the Israelites. We suffered the worst on the face of the earth. But the Bible is referring to Moab specifically. If you go into the history of the Chinese, they have a policy that was once called isolationism. You understand? It's where the Chinese believed in separating themselves and secluding themselves from the influences of the rest of the world because they want to maintain their culture and their history and their ways. So for a long time, like China being a world power is something that's fairly recent. You go do your history. China becoming a world power only happened since the late 70s. Before the late 70s, the Chinese were a very poor and farm agricultural land. You understand? But they maintained their cultures because they refused to have outside influence come in. They've always chosen to isolate themselves. You understand? And I'm gonna get an article to show you that's true. That's the Bible is true. You understand? Moab has never went into slavery the way black people went into slavery. Moab, the Chinese man, has never suffered another people ruling over them the way we have. You understand? And the Bible's gonna prove it to you. Keep reading. The Bible says Moab have been at ease since his youth, meaning since the history of the Chinese people, they've lived a relatively comfortable life on the earth. You understand? And their history prove it. That's why they have an intact history of the Ming dynasty, the Shin dynasty, the Wang dynasty. You understand? These dynasties were all rulerships of Chinese emperors that ruled for hundreds of years undisturbed. You understand? They have been at ease. Anybody heard what they call terracotta soldiers? Anybody know what those are? Go ahead.
Oh, floppy. You got a lot of like pottery and like stone them out or something like that.
The Chinese culture is so preserved, and they fought so hard to separate themselves from the world to maintain their ways that white scientists finally went over there and did an archaeological dig. And what they found was they call it the forbidden city underneath ground. And it's a huge city pretty much underneath the ground. And in this city is a bunch of pottery soldiers in the lines. It's about thousands of these soldiers. And this is just an instance of how the Chinese have always fought to preserve their culture. And they've been allowed to do it because nobody has infiltrated and destroyed their people the way black have been destroyed. The Bible's going to prove it. Go ahead, read that. About the shop.
And he has settled on his lees.
And he has settled on his lees. What does it mean to say he settled on his lees? What does that mean? You will first have to know what lees means. I'll break it down for time's sake. Lees is the bottom of your alcohol, your wine. Before we had this beautiful process called filtration, you understand, which makes this strong so ooey deliciously smooth. You understand? You had to do it by hand. You had to crush them, you had to step on the grapes and crush the grapes, and then you filter the grapes, let it ferment, and then still, when you poured it into barrels, it would still be what it's called sediment. You understand? Little particles that will be in the wine, and it will sip to the bottom. You understand? You got to understand the analogy. The Bible is comparing Moab to a drink. A drink that is allowed for the sediment to fall to the bottom. What does that have to mean about the state of the drink? If all the sediment has fallen to the bottom.
It's been separated.
Yes, but what does that also mean?
It's aged.
It's aged, but give me the point it's making. If I had a smoothie right here, you understand? And you know, in a smoothie, you got the fruit pieces and everything. and sometimes you don't drink all of it right away, and you put it in the fridge. What happens to that smoothie? If anybody that might seen this happen, anybody know?
Yeah. Is it that the nutrients fall to the bottom?
The sediment, the nutrients, all of it falls to the bottom, and then the liquid rises. So you have a separation. You see all the sediment, and then the liquid up top. Where you go to get it, you got to shake it so everything is mixed in. What is this saying? What has to happen in order for the process to sit, for the sediment to fall? The drink has to be sitting untouched. Because the moment you go and grab it, now it mixes. In order for the sediment to fall to the bottom, that means this drink has to be untouched for a long time. The Bible is comparing the Chinese people to a drink that has been untouched for a long time. That's what it says. Their lees have settled. The Chinese man is not like black people. They haven't been poured from vessel to vessel. We have never had a chance to be settled as a people. We get here, we sin against the Lord, now he sends us here. Go look, we've served in captivity under every single nation on the face of the earth. While you want to love everybody, God is going to pay back every race of people. Go do your thing. There's 18 nations on the face of the earth, and black people have served under 17 of them. You understand? And that's why every last one of them are going to go into slavery. Some of them are going to have more mercy than the others. The white man will have no mercy, and that's in the Bible. You understand? He's the only race of people that is not guaranteed mercy. Not guaranteed mercy. But anyways, this is what the Bible is describing about the Chinese man. Keep reading.
And have not been emptied from vessel to vessel.
And have not been emptied from vessel to vessel. Meaning the Chinese people, the land that they are in now has been their land for a very long time. You understand? That's why when those scientists and archaeologists went to go dig up and find these ruins, they found them in this land after thousands of years. Like the white man right now, they find archaeology in Israel, and we're not even over there. You understand? Like we should be the ones finding those things, because if we weren't poured out and scattered the way we were, we would still be in our land. The Chinese man, he finds things that his ancestors buried. You understand? Like we come over here, and a lot of people, I remember growing up, we had in our backyard, we used to, kids, we played in the dirt. So we played in the dirt, and we get to digging and digging. And I remember we found an arrowhead, a Native American arrowhead, and a wheel to a wagon, pieces of a wheel. And I just thought about it. It was like, this is crazy. Like we literally digging up things that our ancestors had. But to compare that to the Chinese people, they've been in their land so long, they go digging all throughout the land, and they find things that the ancestors buried all throughout the land. You understand? Like the Native Americans were here first. So it's natural that we find Native American artifacts. You understand? The Bible is describing the Chinese man in a certain way for a certain reason, and we're going to get that in just a second. Keep reading, and then all I want you to get. Keep reading.
Come. Neither have he gone into captivity.
Neither have he gone into captivity. Tell me right now, if you ask an Asian in America, will he trade places with you? What would he say? You think he would trade places with you? As oppressed as they claim to be right now, they still wouldn't trade places with you.
Right.
They have enough sense to say, no, you are nigga. Why would I trade places with you?
Yeah.
My life better than yours. You live like shit. You live in hell. They wouldn't trade places with us because they have enough sense to know my people have a culture and a language and a system dedicated for my people. That's why the hashtag Stop the Asian Hate is popular.
Right.
Because the leaders of the Asian people fight and stick up for their people. You understand? Like they see that black people have no leadership. Black people have no army. We have no law. that governs ourselves. You understand? We have the Bible, but look at it from their perspective. You understand? They looking at us like we're a lawless people. They wouldn't dare trade places with us because they know black people are living in hell. Our lives don't compare to any other race of people in their struggles. When you go on Facebook and you try to be hip and follow the trends, stop the Asian hate hashtag, everybody love the hashtags. You understand? Everybody want to get with the calls and hashtag this. When you even put on your page or whatever social media you're doing, hashtag stop the Asian hate or stop the racism against Asians, you are spitting in the face of all of our people that have died and suffered and fought in America. Because an Asian man will never trade places with us because we are the ones that suffer brutality, right? That suffer terrorism. The Chinese man came over here, and what did the white man give the Chinese man when he came over here? Anybody know? Sis? Chinatowns. You know what else he gave them? The railroad industry to work on. A lot of these railroads were built by Chinese people because when they came over here, they were in poverty. And guess what people do when they're in poverty? This might take a wild guess. You understand? They turn to crime. Like black people being criminals because we live in poverty is not a nigga thing. It's not a black person thing. That's a people thing. Every race of people that came to America and were in poverty turned to crime. Right. This is not the Bible. This is history. The Italians came over here and they started Cosa Nostra. You know what I'm saying? The Italian mafia. And they started it so that they can start to feed their families. They turned to crime so that they can survive. The Irish came over here. They got a whole movie about it called Gangs of New York. Right. The Irish came over here and were starting fires in New York and Boston and were killing people. And it got so bad with the Irish that the government said, let's just make them the damn firefighters and police officers. And that's why to this day, the police department and the fire departments play bagpipes at the funerals because it's heavily influenced with Irish culture because the government gave them an industry. The government gave the Italians the construction industry. The government gave the Africans and the East Indians doctorate degrees easier than they give anybody else. Right. You think these Africans and East Indians are smart enough to be a doctor for real? Like, y'all don't, maybe, I did one semester of college and I got to see enough. They cheat on them tests, man. They cheat on them tests because they have such a network of brotherhood. None of them will let each other fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a group of Asians, they wouldn't allow none of them to fail in the group. You know who would allow each other to fail? Us. I wish we had that network. I probably would have graduated college. But instead, our people, we got drunk and got high. That's what we encourage each other to do. You understand? These people were given industries when they came over here. The Chinese man was given the railroad industry. What were black people given after we were so-called free? Drugs. Abortion clinics. Slave patrols. Black codes. If you don't know what black codes are oppressive laws that were put in place all across America to keep black people in check after the Emancipation Proclamation. A perfect example of that, General Muhammad always tells a story of how his grandmother told him stories of how she had to put her head in a goddamn barrel to laugh. This is not far off. We're talking 60, 50 years ago, where black people, when they had to laugh, they had to and find the nearest barrel and put their head in the goddamn barrel and laugh in the barrel. Brother, that is absolutely oppression. Go ahead.
Just like it was a law, it was illegal for was it reckless eyeballing?
Reckless eyeballing was a big one. And you know they hate. They always make fun of black people because we got what they call nigga features: the big lips, the nose, the big eyes. So they used to say them big bulging. The white woman used to always say, he looked at me with those big bulging eyes, and he undressed me with his eyes. I'm not making this up. It's all they got movies where they made pushing this stereotype and this propaganda to get people to think black men are sexually deviant. You understand? Like, our people were given the short end of the stick all the way around, while every other race of people were given things to lift themselves up. Black people have literally been pressed down. And I know you uppity time Uncle Negroes, uppity Negroes and Uncle Toms out there, you probably like, y'all always complaining. You always complaining. Do something about it. We've been doing it since we've been here. And what happens? We built Black Wall Street. We didn't have government assistance. We didn't have government help. The white man didn't build Black Wall Street. Black people built Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We did it for ourselves. And what happened? They burnt it down. This has always been the spirit of these devils. And a lot of people don't tell you that it wasn't just the white man out there doing that to our people. They don't tell you how the Asians joined together with the Italians, with the Irish, with the East Indians, and these stinking Africans with all their food and that garbage. Give me Psalms 83, old Wadi. Keep reading that double.
Therefore, his taste remained in him.
Therefore, his taste remained in him. Now, you got to keep up with the analogy. It's referring to the Chinese man as a drink that has been unsettled. So the drink is sat here, and nobody has touched it or tampered with it, contaminated, spoiled it, if you want to use a biblical word. You understand? So because it has been left untouched, its essence, its taste, who it is, has remained. Do black people have their taste intact? What does the Bible say about salt when it loses its flavor? What does it say? Let's get it. Show you just how all throughout the Bible it's telling us that we are the ones that need saving. You understand? Get me. You hold that double down. And then go to Matthew 5 and 13. Welcome to the show. You got it, go ahead, read.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
Ye are the what?
Salt of the earth.
Ye are the salt of the earth, man. The Bible is saying Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the people that give this place flavor. That's the purpose of salt, to preserve something or to give something flavor. You understand? They serve a dual purpose. And black people are the salt of the earth. Without black people, there would be no reason for white people to have entertainment. Like, white men were mad when black athletes were taking a knee during the Star-Spangled Banner. When in all actuality, if those same black men that took a knee said, to hell with the NFL, to hell with the NBA, to hell with the NCAA.
Right.
Those same white men that was crying and complaining wouldn't even watch their own white compatriots play sports, because we are the very reason why they're entertained in the first place. If black people decided we're not going to participate in their Grammys, we're not going to do the American Idols, we're not going to go to white colleges, we're not even going to let them know our dance and moves, we're going to keep to ourselves, they would have no reason to enjoy life, because we are the thing that makes life enjoyable for them. The problem is, it's not for our benefit. Like, America is able to enjoy life because of our destruction. Like, that's the way it works. Because both people can't live in peace. That's a myth that we have, that we all can live in peace and harmony. Somebody has to be the servant, and somebody is going to be one getting served. And right now, you can't tell, black man, we are the servants in America. You understand? And because we're the servants in America, we've taken on a culture that doesn't belong to us. Black women used to be so delicate and so tender, where the Bible says the sole of her foot never even touched the ground. You understand? Like, just think about how far gone we've become from that. It says it's two parts. When you look at it, black women were so feminine, and black men were so masculine. You understand? Like, imagine you got sisters, you got a man that wouldn't even let your feet touch the goddamn ground. Like, that's Drake right there. That's in Disney movies. You understand? That's not nigga life. That's far-fetched. When this was absolutely our culture. This is how we used to live. Black men being masculine where they wouldn't let their woman. You know that old school. I don't know if some of y'all seen this. You might be from the South or have older parents or whatever. They used to take old school black men used to take their jacket off and put it over puddles. The black woman with the step when they just he laughing. It's a new school cat right here. He laughing like sheep.
No,
Not this pelly, you know. But this is what they used to do. You understand? We've lost our essence of who we are, the greatest people on the face of the earth. We've lost that. We have lost our flavor because we have given it up, trying to do everything that we see America does, following all the goddamn trends and hashtags. Social media is an absolute deception because it doesn't reflect real life a lot of times. You understand? Social media does not reflect what's really going on. Because if it did, there would be no social media because nobody would be able to stomach what's happening to black people. That's why this now recently is such a wave of activism because social media is putting in the faces of people what we have been suffering. And it's not really documenting everything. You understand? That's why Mark Zuckerberg makes sure they block black people on Facebook all the time. I don't know how many times I've been in Facebook jail just from sharing a picture of a black man being hanged. Like, how the hell you gonna block me for that? Like, you gonna give me 30 days for showing a picture of what happened in American history? But that's because they understand if social media were to reflect the reality of what this place is, then this place would fall because black people will see this is a disgusting place.
Right.
We wouldn't want to be part of this place. Keep reading if the salt, Buckle Shaw.
Come. But if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing.
It is thenceforth good for nothing, man. And you look at that black people, a lot of us was told this by our parents, by our teachers, by our bosses, by the principals. Black people have heard this more than any other race of people. You ain't gonna be SHIT when you grow up. You ain't worth SHIT. You good for nothing. Hell, a lot of brothers hear that right now. And a lot of you sisters is guilty of saying that to brothers. You a bum. You worthless. We talked about that last night. You worthless. You understand? We do that to ourselves. Because even we know we aren't supposed to be living like this. This is not our designed state to be in. You understand? Like the Lord called us to be the salt of the earth. The greatest people to ever live, man. Any more on that?
Come. But to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
But to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of men. You ever seen a horse? And when a horse gets scared, or they go like the police, when you have riots, they take them horses to them riots for one particular reason. Anybody know why the police bring them horses to riots?
They run over people.
That's exactly what they for. Just in case if it get too hectic, they sit high up. Them horses, once they get that leg up, whatever's right there is getting trodden. That leg's coming down with power. And once you're on the ground, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And that's what the Bible is saying have happened to black people. We have been beat and pummeled in the earth because we have lost our flavor. Even the white man look at us like, man, these niggas ain't nothing. When we the ones that built America. They know we're the real Jews, but they look at us in astonishment like, I don't know how they can be living like this. That's our culture. You understand? It's white culture to sell drugs. It's white culture to murder your babies. It's white culture to molest children and to rape women, you understand? And to do everything that's disgusting and just deviant. That's not our culture. But the white man is looking at us and he hates us for doing what he does. You understand? It's a matter how wicked you got to be where you see people doing what you do and you get mad at them. Like, look at these thugs. Look at these criminals, super predators. Look at these rapists. When you establish your country on being thugs and super predators and rapists and criminals, that's how you got this place. That's how you establish America. You didn't establish America through peace and ingenuity and honor and liberty. You established America by being the devil. And now that we've taken on your devilish ways, you hate us. I understand. Because this is not who we're supposed to be.
Right. You understand? We are called to be the salt of the earth, the flavor of the earth. That one thing where every race of people looks at us and they have something to aspire to. Like, I want to be like the niggas when I grow up.
It's not hard to believe because guess what's happening right now? Little white kid, little Timmy in the suburbs is turning his hat backwards and going to raid his mother's medicine cabinet for some cough syrup and opiates, and he trying to get like Lil Wayne. You understand? There's some white girl somewhere practicing in her room to the WAP song. You understand how to twerk? If it's up, then it's up. You understand? It's some white girl right now, a group of them, just in a room practicing, trying to do what we do. They do it. They try to be us, even in our negative state.
Right.
Just imagine if we were the children of the Lord and following our culture. The world would rejoice because now everybody's trying to be righteous. It's a beautiful thing once you realize the whole world revolves around us. And that sounds real cocky, but it's one of the things that black people, if we were to understand that, we would view everything with a different perspective, the bigger picture. Like the world is in turmoil because of us. Really, if you think about it, the white man is the devil. He's destroying everything. But he's in that position because we are not worthy to be in that position right now. When the Lord wants us to be in charge of the earth. Because clearly the person that's in charge is running this place to hell.
Right.
You understand? He's destroying everything. That's into that. You can drop that. Give me the Psalms 83, Brother Shaw.
83, what verse is it?
You can start at verse 1.
Okay. Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God, man. Anybody know who was praying right here? Anybody know who this is praying? Just take a guess. Go ahead, sis. David, get a sister a hand, man. This is King David praying. The book of Psalms, it was written by David. Psalms literally means thumbs because David played the guitar. You understand? David was an expert musician. You go read the scriptures, they'll tell you David was a cunning player and a man of war, which lets you know he's a Judite.
Right.
He'll go from warring a sister to fighting a nigga in the club at the same time. You understand that? He's a straight up Judite. And this is what the Bible was saying, man. David was praying. And what does the Bible say about David? He was a man after the Lord's own heart, man. And David is praying. He said, keep not thy silence, O God. Keep speaking. Keep reading.
Okay. Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Get the definition of tumult, Bible Shaw. Now, a lot of you may be like, this sounds familiar. This is one of the prayers we read in the Sabbath service. Okay. You understand? And this prayer is very important because it's relevant to this day. Go ahead, Dawa.
Tumult, a loud, confused noise, especially one caused by a large mass of people.
This is what's going on with black people. We have been deceived into following everything America has put before our face. We have been confused and thinking that social media is reality. You understand? Like social media it causes a lot of noise, figuratively speaking. You understand? Like social media right now, especially when the COVID-19 hit, now everything is online based and oriented. Our people get on social media and forget that there's a life outside of the internet. We forget that there's a reality that we have to face outside of this made up space right here. Now, I'm not dogging social media because there's power in it. That's why we utilize it, because there's definitely power in social media. But the majority of our people that are not in here, they are led away by social media because online now it makes it seem like we all have a common thing. We all the same. We just view things a little different. I hate that type of mindset. That like people like them videos where black people and white people are singing a song together. Social media is full of that type of "we are the world" garbage,
right?
And it creates this false narrative that confuses black people. You understand? The literal sense is every time black people want to get settled in a place, the white man comes and he conspires with other nations to destroy black people. That's why right now, black people made up DC to be Chocolate City. Because prior to that, black people were living in Alabama, in Mississippi. But it was so hectic for black people down south because of the oppression, the tumult that was caused against our people, that we flooded the northern cities. Brothers and sisters in Chicago, from Mississippi went to Chicago. Cats from Alabama went to Detroit. And a lot of cats from Alabama went to D.C. too. That's why a lot of people in New York, they got family in the Carolinas or Virginia. Our people came up north thinking that we can escape this tumult. You understand? This confusion. When we found out that it is just as bad up north for black people. This is what we're reading about right here. Keep reading.
Oh, Salam. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head, man. They are always seeking to uproot blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? That is the goal for us in America. Like the moment black people get settled, what happens when we get settled in one place? Unbothered. Black Wall Street. It's all throughout history. That's what happens. The moment we get a chance to live and get settled in one spot and are unbothered and are kept to ourselves, we thrive and we flourish. That's why black people are living a life of doubt and being unsure about everything, because that's by design. You understand? I remember growing up, and it was nothing for black people to get a job and to lose jobs and to move here and move there. You understand? A lot of us grew up real unstable. A lot of us grew up in unstable homes, grew up in unstable neighborhoods, because that was by design. You understand? And this is for a reason. We're going to read what this reason is. Keep reading, Dr. Shaw.
They have taken crafty counsel against our people.
They have taken crafty counsel against our people. The word crafty means cunning. You understand? The word crafty means the word crafty means cunning, real slick, real deceptive. And this is what has been going on against black people behind closed doors and right in front of our faces. While we want to follow all the challenges and have fun and think life is a big old party, and the other nations are conspiring against black people. You understand? Like the counsel they have taken against black people is absolutely ridiculous. Something as simple as putting abortion clinics strategically in black neighborhoods when you know you've destroyed the economy of black people. So now a black woman is going to consider, a wise black woman will abort her baby. I know that sounds strange. A wise black woman? Yes. It is absolutely wise for a black woman to look at her situation, count the costs, and say, I'm going to abort this baby. The thing is, it's not expedient to have that child, but that's what the Lord wants. You understand? And it's something that we got to understand. Our people have been taught to rationalize things, to think that it's the right thing to do when it's wrong. You understand? It's absolutely wise for you not to want to bring a child into poverty. It's wise for you not to want to bring a child into a crime-riddled neighborhood. Who wants to do that? Anybody that actually loves their child would be like, man, I don't want to do that, man. This child don't deserve to live like this. But guess what? The Lord called us to be supernatural. You understand? To think and react above what comes naturally. You understand? That's what supernatural is. And it's supernatural for a black woman to look at her condition, look at the poverty surrounds her and the oppression that awaits this child, and say, I'm still going to have this baby. That's something that is of the Lord, literally. You understand? This is the crafty counsel that's been taken against our people. Private prisons. And then influencing black music for black men to commit crimes to go to prison. Like a lot of people that's old enough will tell you, hip hop was once a different genre. Like what brothers rap about now is not what brothers used to rap about. You understand? In the rap game now, what they rap about? What's the main topic that's being rapped about in the music now? And then what the sisters get. Okay.
Shooting drugs.
Drugs. That's the biggest one. That's the main one. Drugs. It's not by design. It's not by chance that weed is a billion-dollar industry now. It's not by chance that big pharmaceutical companies are getting richer and richer. When you rapping about Percocets and opiates, who the hell do you think you're getting them from? Who the hell you think you making rich? You ain't making Tyrone rich. That's selling you a baggie of them.
Right.
You making Moderna rich, Pfizer rich, Bayer rich. That's who you making rich. And you make them more rich to destroy you even more. The guns, the police in our neighborhoods, all these things is crafty counsel that was put in place to destroy black people. And guess what? While you want to love those Asians, they are in this mixed multitude that has conspired against black people. They are in league with the white man. That's why they have Chinatowns, and you can't even stay in your house long enough for it to accrue value. That's why they have entire communities. When black people we go and try to find, a lot of us got this dream where life is going to be better when we go move into a white neighborhood. My mama was one of them. We got to get out the ghetto, we're going to move into an all-white neighborhood. When in all reality, in the perfect society, we should be able to live right among our people, like every other race of people. The Chinese don't ever say, we're going to go move and live among white people. It doesn't make sense. The East Indians don't say, we're going to go move and live amongst Africans.
Right.
Every race of people prefers to live amongst themselves and stay amongst themselves because it's beneficial to do that. Black people are the only people not allowed to do that. Literally not allowed. You understand? Like, we'll go into it later. Keep reading. Whoever had it. We'll get too off topic.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
The Bible says they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. While you think that you can join hands with the Chinese and with the Africans and all that foo-foo challenge, you understand? You thinking you observing your culture, eating foo-foo. When if you go ask an African, they'll tell you, yeah, my people sold your people to slavery. There's a video I watched today on Facebook and it had me mad. I want the video chat this African. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping he'll answer. You understand? Because he went and made a joke and said, as I'm watching this video, I can't help but to think that my people ran fast enough to not be put into slavery. You know, he's laughing and he's cracking a joke. When 99 million of our people died and suffered heinous atrocities on the transatlantic slave trade. But to him, it's a small thing because he knows we are not the same people. His people sold our people. And it's so sad that we let social media trick us into thinking we all one group of people that can come together in love and peace and we can just all sing and dance together and the world's problems will melt away. That is a Disney movie, man. That's garbage. Nothing ever changes that way. Go ahead, Dawah Dawah.
You think it's just random, but just with that African topic, I always been thinking this, like, you think we'll ever have a battle with Dr. Umar Johnson?
Dr. Umar Johnson is not worth any of the time any brother here. If the UPK were to battle Umar Johnson, I would see him putting one of y'all on him. And not saying y'all not special, but he's lightweight. Y'all will crush him easily.
Right.
Like Commander General YAHANNA is feeding black people all over the country in the earth. You understand? Like, we got so much bigger fish to fry. Like, that's something you'll do on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? We tell him come to your spot. You know what I'm saying? He don't get to come to the school. Just go to Dawah Dawah's spot. Dawah Dawah, you record it, and if you think it's worth it, Dawah Dawah, then you put it online. That's how little Umar Johnson is. You understand? Right. These cats, in the grand scheme of things, are really just distractions, just like social media. They're put into place to keep black people from coming together under righteousness. Umar Johnson is no different than T.D. Jakes. Right. He's no different than Nasty Nathaniel 7. Listen, Nate. Tuesday night, you gonna have to come see me, man. Because I'm going in on Nasty. I was supposed to get it in last night, but I had to answer some questions. I got a whole class dedicated to the purple sodomites. You understand? Umar Johnson is no different from any of these cats. They just here and they're distracting black people from what is really the solution, which is to come in here and change your life. You understand? In the UPK, that's the real solution. You understand? And the more we avoid that, the longer we prolong our suffering. You understand? With that, clap it up.
brother hand. Niggas on here. Most right. Showing your stuff. What's going on? Go ahead. We can go a little into Nasty Nate. You know what I'm saying? IUIC Purple Cats.
What? Yeah, that's the what? The what?
Give me the scripture on. Give me Philippians 2 and 2. All right, let me know when you got it. As you know, this past week, our brothers in Nashville, held her down. It was about 4 or 5 of us UPK brothers, but that's all that we need compared to the, versus the world.
Right.
It's about 4, whatever the Lord provides.
Right.
And about, whatever in the teens, maybe 10 or more than 15 of them, they approached UPK. They thought they were going to move us off the corner.
Right.
But, we, of course, stood our ground, because we are, the only Israelite group. You know what I'm saying? We are the elite and the only, and I'm going to prove that we are the only Israelite group. They're just Christians in purple who know that they are Israelites.
Right.
That's about it. But they still Christian. You got it.
It's like we had a question online.
Mm-hmm.
He asked it while I was teaching, but you can answer about shot, sir. The brothers asked, what is the best way to correct a worldly rib trying to usurp authority?
Curse her out. A worldly rib. She's not really gonna listen to the scriptures. You can pull scriptures. If you pull scriptures, then it may not. It's not gonna work. But mostly, and even if she's not in a world before a relationship with man and woman is always a battle and a tug of war. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful of trying to let your woman rule you. And sometimes she's not doing it. Some women are doing it on purpose, like trying to rule you and be masculine on you on purpose, over you on purpose. Other ones are not trying to do it on purpose, but they do certain things, and it's like, no, you gotta have the order. And they gotta understand. Others, a few really don't know the order, and really gotta just be corrected. And they can be lightly corrected. They don't have to be heavy. Like a worldly woman, you have to be heavy on her with correction. A woman that's not aware of sometimes if she offends you or if she's getting out of order, you just have to lightly let her know and then bring that to her knowledge. Because sometimes she can be doing something and not even really know. And then you just let her know, hey sis, don't do that, or this is how we're gonna do it. Because all of us growing up in this world we don't know the scriptures. And we brought up how America teaches us. America teaches women that, that 50-50. Right. Damn, they're really the woman that's over the man. Right. It's not even really 50-50. She is over, it's vice versa. She's the head of the man, really. Right. So, brother, all you have to do is just stay dominant. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to physically get abusive, anything like that. But when she, just ask the brother to give examples of something she might do. Or if he can, bro, what's his name?
Casio, sir.
Yeah, Casio, yeah. Brother, give an example. Okay, so if you're, a worldly woman that's in the world, like if she's being disobedient, there's certain things you can do, like, don't leave her, but you can not talk to her for a day or two. You can most definitely not talk to her. That's fine. Right. You can, what's other things you can do? It's certain things you can do to let her know that when she acts like that she's totally unattractive. They're like, you acting like, you being rude, and I don't want to talk to you right now. Right. Or you acting ugly, so, I don't want to deal with you. So you're not breaking up with her, but it's a certain way you treat her to make her know, look, I don't like you when you act like that. Until she gets it. You get what I'm saying? Right. And most definitely, curse her out. Because and that's just what spiritually, and we already know that. The Old Testament, New Testament, black people are just Israel just stiff in that. And a lot of times you might lightly try to talk to somebody. Some people grasp that. Other people don't. You have to straight up curse them the hell out. And then they all of a sudden they see it. I mean, all of a sudden then they understand. They're looking at you crazy. Like, why are you cursing at me? I mean, why you getting so aggressive with me? Go ahead, sis.
Like my husband and I are too, but that's how he is. Like he really be cursing out people. Like, oh, we don't go through this in our relationship. Well, this is how it be. Like this something because I'm still working on myself too.
Right.
So some things like if I let him slide, he starts skating. Like, all right, chill out. And I know he's supposed to be like the, head or whatever. But sometimes you get him an inch. Like they just do. He do like a lot. Like he see I'm really calm and he just keep testing me sometimes.
If you really calm. I'm like, what? I missed that.
No, like I'm still working on myself, so I'm not used to letting people just talk to me any kind of way.
Right.
So I'm not gonna lie, like I'm.
And he has to know, like he just has to know. I mean, he's he in the world, but he has to know also, and it's certain. You yourself, you can be in a certain spirit to. You can overpower that brother with your femininity. And with a gracious spirit, you can woo him, seduce him, and hypnotize him with a beautiful spirit, and it should make him lighten up. You get what I'm saying? Like he may not want to be like if you act in a certain. It's all about setting the tone in arguments. When you have an argument, if you're gonna fight fire with fire, but if you take the lower ground, and I mean you're a punk or whatever. But if you understand, okay, this is my husband. You know what I'm saying? If you take the lower ground and, apologize or, be more light, then it should change his spirit. Because he might be prepared to go to war. Yeah. But if he prepared to go to war, like he throw it not, like I'm not saying physically, but spiritually, he throwing his hands up like, okay, she gonna swing. I'm gonna get ready to try to counter. But then he seemed like, oh damn, she's not even swinging back. He gonna put his hands down. That's what I'm saying. When I'm not swinging back, he's still doing it. Okay, I mean, he just in the world, so he gotta understand not to do that. Yeah. He just gotta understand not to do that. And it's nothing wrong with you telling him or ask him, it's like I said, it's a certain way you talk to him, like, babe, why are you doing that? Please don't do that because it hurts me or it affects me. Or don't make it, don't make things better. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I'm kind of dumb. Like I don't never say nothing like that. I'm just ready. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just ready. That's a problem. So that's what it is. That's a problem. So this isn't happy because she said she's working on herself. Okay. That's the first thing is admitting. The first thing is acknowledging. But even outside of my even with my rib or outside of my rib. I remember one time when I was before I even was in the school, I got a younger sister who's about I think she's 3 years younger than me, and I had cursed her out one time, and she just told me like don't curse me. Like she had snapped back about how the way I was talking to her, and then for that day on I never had talked to her like that. Because she made me see like, okay, I shouldn't talk to her like that. Why am I cursing at her? Or why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? So, but you have to explain and let him know, and not and yeah, you just gotta let him know and make it seem and let him know. And you got the way you approach got to be like you're not attacking him. Like let him know, look, I just want to have a talk. I'm not attacking or something like that. But when you do this hurt my feelings. I want to have a better relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's destroying our marriage when you do this and do that. And could we do this? Could we, let's make a deal. Let's make a promise to do this to each other. You got to come at him light. I'm telling you, you got to learn. You got to sweep these men off their feet. Sisters got to sweep the men. Brother got to sweep the women off their feet. And with sisters, y'all can do it with the spirit also. You get what I'm saying? You have to explain and plead to the man like, brother, you destroying me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, oh, you a punk ass nigga, and you this and well, you tell me this, you tell me that. That's gonna make him defensive. But if you don't come in like that, he's not gonna be defensive. If you come at him like, babe, I would like to not talk like this to each other no more. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to, I'm in the school, I'm Hebrew Israelite, I'm in I.S.U.P.K. They teach me to be like this and be like that. Please, can you help me? You know what I'm saying? I want this relationship, this marriage to last forever. It'll make it better and make it last forever if we do it like this and not talk to each other like this and like that and practice. And we got to have a real conversation. So is he that? Have you ever, been able to have a real conversation without really getting argumentative? Mm-hmm. Okay, so
and sometimes this is like that's just like your wife, your husband. Like mm-hmm. It's a pattern. Like mm-hmm. It's like an hour later he'll come back and like text me like, "Hey, I'm sorry." Like we get like it's always like.
So if he all right, so catch him when he do that. Because a lot of times men is wrong. Men, and we got and also brothers, men just have pride, testosterone, and things like that. But if he can at least do that, acknowledge, come back an hour later, that's still good.
He said he talked to God. He found a new way to work on his anger.
Okay, if he can talk to God, if he can hear, come to U.P.K, learn how to really talk to the Most High, talk to God. He comes, if he comes back an hour later, once he comes back an hour later, now he's apologetic. He's in that apologetic mode or spirit. That's when you gotta hit him with that. We gotta do this together. I'm trying to be with you. Butter him his ass up.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to be with you forever. I want to make this work. And we really gotta plead and make him know that he the man. Say you the man. But I'll be feeling like you the man when you do that. Okay. So that's how you gotta fight yourself to not be. And it's just the world, like you said, you're working on yourself. The world had taught even our sisters to be so rough and so tough. Yeah. Like you got in this world, women, men and women, you got you gotta have tough skin because it's so effed up out here. Yeah. So we gotta have women, even our sisters gotta be, niggas. So, but in here, we rewashing our mind and rewashing ourselves and learning how to be the right way. Right. You get what I'm saying? So, talk. I will not wait. Have a conversation with him tonight. You get what I'm saying? And most definitely, whenever he comes back and he's in that apologetic spirit, just let him know. That this is I don't want to go and when he hears words like both of us, a man and a woman, like a woman tell me she want to come out here, I want to be with you forever. And I tell a woman I want to be with you forever. Like that, put something in their ear. You get what I'm saying? Like you got to put that thing in his ear to let him know, like, look, I'm not going nowhere, and I want to make this thing last forever. And I feel like if we do this and do that, it'll this would be that. And it's gonna take more than one conversation too, because that one conversation ain't gonna work. You gotta keep. It's gonna be something that's gonna be repetitive, and just don't give up.
Right.
Because that's what we do. We give up on each other a lot, and then we're single parents, we're dysfunctional, and now the sister looks for another man, and she had so many damn men, and it's crazy. But that's this world. Yeah. This world be having us, got us so destroyed and so messed up. This ain't really our life. Like our life shouldn't be like this, but this hellhole, that's just how this hellhole is. Right. You know what I'm saying? But once again, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna say, if I could, I was gonna, probably tell the sister. Sometimes, like in that type of situation, because I know I've been in that situation with my rear. Mm-hmm. You gotta make him feel wild for something that he's doing. Like you gotta make him feel like, my job, I did too much.
Right. That's the thing. Right. And right. That's the thing. Like make it like you gotta like. He right. Like it's not. You're not evil for telling a brother like this. What you said to me that's really damaging. That's really messed up. Like that's wild, bro. Like that's wild. You should. Somebody you love, don't say that to that. Somebody that you love. If we love each other, I'm not going to say this to you to really try to. Let's not say like we love each other, so let's show that we love each other by not trying to damage each other or really, really hurt our feelings every damn argument. Like somebody trying to go for the lowest blow. Whoever can say the most meanest thing. Like that's not good. And then I gotta say that you say the most meanest thing to your woman. Go lay in the bed one day, you can get some sex. You ain't getting no sex. You ain't getting no sex. Like, you understand how this thing work. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to be, when I check, I prepare myself. I ain't, okay, I'm going to check you right now. I may or may not get this weekend. This checking is worth me not getting none if you're going to hold out on me. It's fine. It's against the scripture for you to do that. Oh, it's like capture on stuff. So I'm typing okay, so about the ingredients, I was gonna wait. Okay, yeah, I can do it. I can put it for sale for sure. Not a lot. I'm not gonna use. And you were saying, oh yeah, right, accountability. Like, hopefully, you get with a brother can build up. It's better for them to come in here to learn how to be accountable. Both of us got to be accountable. That's what it's about. Because we make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And then we just got to, forgive each other and also believe each other that we're going to start building accountability and responsibility. You get what I'm saying? It's all about responsibility, accountability. That was a good word you brought out. Most definitely accountability.
Yeah, own it.
Go ahead, sis.
So you saying it's unlawful if your man wants some and you turn it down?
Really? Yeah, you can't y'all gotta make an agreement. That's in the New Testament. Y'all gotta make an agreement. Like, okay, we're not gonna go without sex for this long, man and woman. Because a man might be mad at his girl and might not want to have sex with her. And he both. It got to be like really an agreement to. Okay, we're gonna go a week. We're gonna go 2 weeks. We're gonna go a year, months, whatever. Y'all gotta agree on that. You just can't hold each other out on that, because that'll create, of course, issues like the brother gonna just go get another woman, or if you're doing it to your rib, Lord allow, like she might, could be tempted to bro, and she'll commit adultery, or if the brother's, lustful, he not even get a proper rib. He might spend some money, or it'll be a hole, a nasty hole. You get what I'm saying? So that's how you dodge all of that. That be one of y'all weapons too. They love to hold out. They mad. Okay. No sweat. Shakisha. Yeah, want some to eat. But that's what it is. It's just we gotta learn accountability all around. But most definitely to and that's what to keep a good brotherhood with a brother, sisterhood with a sister, and most definitely with a marriage. Accountability, not trying to say the deep, you say one hurtful thing, I gotta top that hurtful thing. Right. I gotta be the one that said the most hurtful thing. Nah, that's not you really you think you wanna battle, but you're losing a war. And the war is the whole thing is losing your marriage, or losing the trust and the love of your rib or your husband when you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? And it's for sure, that's one of the, and it's crazy because America is already fighting to, of course, already separating us, Black and Latino families. And we're going to help our enemy by destroying it, we willingly going to help split our family by arguing with each other, trying to say the most hurtful thing. And now we got to get the bigger picture. The bigger picture is we live in America, living in the hell. We got to get rid of the oppressors that are war with us at every way. Oppressor telling our woman she got to get an abortion. She cannot afford it. She need to go to school, go to college, get a job. Telling a black man, you too poor to have children. They put drugs in our community. They telling our sons and our daughters that they can now choose their own gender. They can be homosexual. It's so many different. It's so many different ways they go to war with the Black and Latino community, and here we go destroyed. Here we are destroyed. Here we are destroyed, and we fight each other. That ain't it. That ain't gonna work.
Right. Quick question.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it wrong to tell your rib that you like you don't want to you don't break the marriage, but you don't wish to live with that person?
I mean, sometimes you have. Sometimes I mean, you don't have to, but you just gotta be wise in it. Nah, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to live with your rib. Some brothers don't. Some brothers have 2 or 3 ribs. They don't live with all 3 of them. You know, it's one. You know, it's right about now. One brother I know that, and both ribs live in the house. I knew one other brother, but it was at that time. You got to gain more. You got to gain experience and gain poise and wisdom to have your ribs live together. First of all, they don't have to. They don't even have to know each. I mean, they don't have to talk to each other. It's not the law that your 2 ribs have to even communicate.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? 'Cause you got to understand the spirit of love, and you know she gonna want you to herself, so she might fight the other rib. That's number one. So you should the first thing is to keep them separated, and then you know they have the spirit of the Most High in Christ. They can be around each other as you see in the school. You got ribs that's together and go to events and parties and things together, and it's fine for the most part. You know, so it's one brother that does live with his both of his ribs and everything is fine. But there's other men that did it before and has over time have failed. But it's because of that brother you have to be responsible and a disciplined brother to handle that. That is not a light thing to have ribs live with each other, or even and just to have 2 ribs in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's 2 headaches. There's 2 mouths you gotta listen to. There's 2 pleasures. It's good and bad. I mean, not good and bad, but you know what I'm saying. Pros and cons, and you got to be man enough and disciplined and patient to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Roger.
It's like I said, I got the precept.
What's that?
Withholding sex. Basically.
What's that?
From withholding sex.
Oh, you think you got a precept? Okay, go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
The wife have not power of her own body.
There you go. Get that brother hand. He pulled it too. He pulled it. I'm sorry, why did pulled it? Go ahead.
Come. But the husband, and likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife.
Right. So saying like the wife don't have power of her own body, the husband neither. Like you can't withhold each other from sex. You get what I'm saying? If you're gonna do that, you're gonna end the marriage. Like you're gonna, the marriage is gonna be ended. It's gonna fall on one of y'all. You get what I'm saying?
Right. What's that first one?
That was the scripture right there. Is that one? Is do benevolence? That's the scripture too. But for sure, that is it. Yeah, you just gotta understand the spirit of holding from one another. Like your husband, your husband mad at you, so he ain't gonna mess with you. He don't, want to lay with you. I mean, it is for a time. Like I have done it, but I only done that for one, a day. Like, you know what? I'm not even going to sleep in the bed. I'm going to sleep I'm putting myself on the couch. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to put yourself on the couch or go sleep in the home to cool off. Yeah. You have to do that. But, if you're just doing it for some time and it's specifically to try to think you're going to punish one another for not having sex with each other, you can't do that. Unless y'all agree. Like, I think we need some time. I don't think we need to do it. Both of y'all agree 2 weeks, a month, whatever time y'all agree on. Right. But both of y'all have to agree on it. You get what I'm saying? Was there any more questions online? Okay, let's get who got
Philippians what?
2 and 2.
2 and 2. Philippians chapter 2, verse 2.
All right.
Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded.
Be like-minded. What does that mean? Anybody know? What it means to be like-minded? Go ahead.
It's like us in the truth.
How are we like-minded in the truth?
We all like live by the same stuff.
You got anything else?
No, I'm trying.
Oh, you trying to think?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like the perfect thing to say.
Okay, I'm gonna come back right to you. Go ahead,
I was
Dr.
gonna say being on the same accord or one body.
Right, that's most definitely a given, man. Most definitely, like one body. What does that mean? Being one body, one accord. What does that mean? What is one accord?
I mean, they're on the same path and function the same.
What is one body?
I mean, everything operates as a core.
Trying to operate as one. Okay. Go ahead.
In agreement?
Right. Most definitely agree. That's correct. Go ahead, sis.
Being holy.
Say again.
Being holy.
Most definitely being holy and separate, but being holy and separate together as one. Go ahead. Are you on now?
Well, when I think of like-minded, I think about schools. Everybody teaches the same thing.
Right. So this is the definition of one West. Being like-minded. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be in DC school and hear somebody teach that Christ is black and then go to the Texas school and they teaching Christ is white.
Right.
Or go to California, they teaching Christ is Korean. Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? All of us going to teach one thing.
Right.
And that's how you be one body. You get what I'm saying? These other Israelite groups, the split, shows you that they was not like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Those purple homos, I'm just gonna say IUIC because we attack purple, but you can wear purple, and I'm gonna get a purple garment. So I'm not gonna attack purple because you can wear. I'm gonna get a purple mitri, and it's lawful.
Right.
All right, and it's not a sin.
Right.
They wear purple, but that's what they wear purple, so we call them purple homos and all that. Purple rain.
Yeah.
So purple. So they teach. They not like they not like-minded. You know, so you got brothers who get arrested for certain things. One brother got arrested for killing. He tried to shoot a transgender. Had sex with a transgender. Shot her in the face. Another brother. I mean, they break the law by allowing heathens into their school.
Right.
And the heathen murdered a sister.
Right.
In the IUIC. Who in the UPK murdered a sister?
Right.
Even from, let's say, the old school. You don't even hear a story about old One West in the 80s and 90s murdering a sister.
Right.
Except for, one time when the sister did commit adultery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That brother went to jail because he, retaliated on his rib, but that's, not that he's saying he should have done that, but that happens. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I made too, sir. Nasty Nate, like they go out and act like they teaching and trying to save blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans when their track record shows something different. Nasty Nate, he lied and put cases on two brothers, and they served a year of jail time because he falsified documents when he was a police officer for New York.
So this brother's falsifying, what I'm saying, bearing false witness. Brothers are sinful, man. This is what all you fake camps got to know. You Christianites got to know. When you messing up, your women are coming to UPK.
Right.
I've been in this. I'm going on 2020. This is my 9th year in this UPK.
Right.
And through them 9 years, as a young man in the school, when I was in my early 20s, I seen and I heard phone calls where the women would call certain brothers, like Officer I.S.U.P.K, Officer at the time, Captain Gahan, who was Officer Gahan, was counseling sisters that was being mistreated in the IUIC, and they coming to us now.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because they know what the home of the truth is,
Okay.
and they know where the real correction is, and what the real body is. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Where you at? Okay, go ahead.
It's like so that happened to me a couple of times. Whereas sisters,
that story I wanted to pull was that. Remember Sister Vegas? Was she IUIC?
She was, yes. It was IUIC, and the IUIC was telling them they not married.
Oh, wait, pull this. Go ahead. Listen to this story right here.
If I may say,
they destroy marriages.
Right.
And I'm gonna go ahead, because
a couple concepts I made. It was a sister, and I noticed she was liking posts and everything. She would always comment something on the post. And so she finally hit me up in the messenger. It was like acting like she's trying to get counsel. She was, but at the same time, she had an ill intent too. At the same time, and so I'm talking to the sister and listening to what she's saying. I was like, okay, so why do you think you're not married when you live with this man? Y'all had sex. She's like, because IUIC told us that we don't have the marriage documents, so we're not married.
You hear that?
We're shacking.
They're breaking marriages and relationships.
Right.
The sister, of course, it's a couple brothers that, sisters, go crazy. They always hitting up Kazak.
Nah.
They always hitting Kazak and Barak. They want them brothers. You know what I'm saying? So she hit up Kazak thinking she's not married. Thinking she's going to get with one West righteous super soldier Kazak. That wasn't going to happen. Of course, that brother Kazak says, okay, hold on, wait. He started questioning her, okay, are you married? Or are you man? And she said, she tried to say, it was a sticky situation. I remember this whole story. She tried to tell him, in the air. She, in the beginning, the sister in the beginning, before IOIC, she knew sex was marriage.
Right,
They knew for at least a year or so that they were married. And they were acting like they was married.
Right.
They go to IOIC. IOIC said, y'all don't have the marriage papers, so y'all not married. Right. So now in their mind, you got to think about it. Like when you learn new information or something like that, or when you find out the truth, it crushes your old ways. Right. Like we all used to celebrate Christmas or something like that. We found out the truth about Christmas. Right. It crushed our heart in the beginning, and then we're like, damn, no more Christmas. Right. It crushes you, and you're like, all right, no more Christmas. Christmas is evil. Right. Damn that. Right. So now they think they married. They go to IUIC. Those almost tell them you need a paper, so it crushes their mind of what they thought, the idea of what they thought or knew what marriage was. Right. So now both of them now act different towards each other. God. They don't even act like husband and wife no more. Right. They act like boyfriend, roommates, sex, but friend with benefits. Right. Like we ain't married, so and it shows you they took them back to the world. Because who thinks like that? Who thinks like, okay, if you don't like it, put a ring. If you don't like it, whatever, put a ring on it. What do women always say? A man be trying to tell a woman to do. I don't see no ring on my finger. Yeah. Who says that? People in the world. Right. IUIC took this couple minds back to the world. Right. When in the beginning they knew sex was marriage. They destroying lives. Physically and spiritually. They killing sisters. Right. Yeah, they hiring monkey eating Africans. Right. And Africans will kill you. Right. And that's what they doing in that group, man. They not we here in One West, I pulled the scripture show that we are like-minded. Right. You get what I'm saying? We ain't gonna kill no sister, and a lot of stuff. And this is the thing: when brothers do or sisters do become out of order, you see that sister or that brother's gonna get checked. Right. The checking is not to be an asshole to you, or to just be mean. Right. The checking is to make sure everybody in here is like-minded. Right. And on one accord. Right. They're not on one accord. Those purple cats are not on one accord. They do different things and have different thoughts. They don't move us. That's why. And the proof is in the pudding. Like every GMS or IUIC group that run into us, they always say the same thing about UPK. All y'all do is just do this and do that. Yeah. All y'all just yell. Yeah. All y'all just wear black. And all y'all just do this. All y'all. That's good because we're known and nobody can be different from that. Right. Whether they're in North Carolina, Florida, DC, UK, or whatever, all of us is going to yell. Right. All of us is going to raise our voice. Right. All of us have the same speaking style. Right. And that's being one accord and like-minded. And we're going to teach the same damn thing. That's right. You get what I'm saying? That's how you be One West. Right. Them brothers. You know what I'm saying? They need to be, if they want to be like-minded, they're going to learn. And it has been brothers that have been in other groups that have joined the school and now have been UPK for about 3, 4, or 5 years now. You know what I'm saying? You get them a hand. The brothers that came from out of IUIC, came from out of the group. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, if I may, the brother Cazio, he's one of them that you just spoke of. He came from IUIC. He let me know over the UPK. But if I may, even a Christian will tell you that your marriage is not, you're not married until you consummate. Even they know that.
Well, yeah. You're right. But the brother saying, when I was I probably was like 21. I had a debate with a Catholic priest. My father lived in a all black neighborhood, but which over when he was a kid was mostly black. But as he got to his 40s, and I was a teenager, it's now all white now. But they always had a Catholic church on the corner, and the nuns would walking past our house forever. I never battled the nuns, but I seen that father, and I was like, look at this pedophile. So I'm gonna ask him some questions. So he would just ask me about different questions and all that, and then I remember just talking about letting him know that we were battling about sex as marriage, and even that father agreed that well, of course we know, and they have the wedding, but it's not consummate. What's the word you use?
Consummate.
It's not consummated until they that night, the honeymoon or whatever, when they have sex. Right. Then so even the Catholic Church knows that, but the Christianity, the Catholic Church, they'll push lies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna until you really dig on, battle them and battle them down. Then they say, "Oh yeah, well of course."
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my man. Again, I find it's a lot of Israelite brothers Israelites that argue down, saying like what is that? Exodus 22 verse 16, where it said if a man entice a woman, take a woman that's not betrothed and he lie with her,
pull a scripture.
Like that's a command.
Right.
Like you don't have any option, or unless you're you're going to decide to transgress. But they go off of, they say you have to endow the father. Like that's to make it good with man. But in the eyes of Yahweh, if that's a command, you must do it. Right. You know what I mean? So, like, sex is marriage.
Exactly. And that they destroying lives, don't realize it.
Right.
You destroy that was. I'm glad that brother, because me and Kazak, the sister trying to talk to him, and me and Kazak like, okay, well, this is nice. And she didn't have her man post on her page, right? She didn't have her man on her page. Wow. Nothing. We damn. She got us sitting. I'm telling Kazak, I'm like Kazak, get her. She's a nice little sister. She's bad as hell. Go ahead and get her. I'm pushing them. Go ahead and try to talk to her. She asks you questions, trying to get precepts. Go ahead and give her the damn precepts. And he didn't let us, you see it, didn't let the lust or whatever, the interest overtake him. Right. He did a protocol and questioned her. Kind of find out, boom. Well, in the beginning, she's like, well, in the beginning, I thought, it was marriage. Right. But now I've been told that we're not married. Mm-hmm. And I mean, just imagine how they were moving together before, but then after that, how they fell off. Right. Still living in the same house, but fell off. Right. Go ahead.
So like I said, she had said once IUIC told them they wasn't married, they living in the same house and they was getting it in, having sex before. They stopped having, they had sex in like months. I'm like, sister, give that man something tonight. Yeah. It's like, sister, y'all are married. That is your goddamn husband. No faggots, no homosexuals just want to sleep with you or sleep with him. It's like it's so wicked, like you said, to revert our people back to the world like that.
They revert back, and that's why they can't be upset when we call them Christian.
Right, exactly.
Because they teaching the same thing Christians teach. Teaching the same thing Christians teach and destroying lives. Go ahead, sister.
She's still in the group.
And what?
She's still in the
I think she was just studying under them or something like that. I don't know. Right. She wasn't really in the group, right? No. She was trying to
get in.
She's a student of the group.
Okay, so they both have an understanding to this day, we not married, but we just have sex.
That's what they think, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lot of blacks and Latinos who know they're Israelites, but they haven't fully come into the school yet. Right. Because they see it's like, okay, they see UPK, they see IUIC, right, or whatever, so they choose whatever, and they don't even realize they think that it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Because all of y'all, claim y'all Israelites, but And to the naked eye, that's what they would think, but really, no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're not the same. We don't, UPK fully teaches against Christianity.
That's right.
We're not going to teach the same thing that the world will teach.
Right.
But they will. Another group, GMS will. They'll teach you can have sex with young girls, 14, 12, 14, as long as they had a period, now that makes them a woman. When that is the beginning of their womanhood, not, that is just the beginning. So a woman still has the flower. The woman is a flower, and she's a stem, and then she's a bud.
Right.
She slowly opens, and then when she fully flourishes, that's when that's a woman.
Right.
So they trying to get the woman they haven't even flourished.
Right.
Damn near she probably don't even have just beginning to get a bud. And it's crazy because when women are growing breast, the Esau terminology is budding, right?
Yeah.
She's beginning to bud. Is that the correct word, right, sisters?
Yeah.
Budding.
Yeah.
Huh?
I heard that before. We say nice.
Gnats. All right. The reason they say that is because of I'll explain it why it's like. But a good, that's a black word. Knots.
Yeah. Yes.
Knots. It's a black word because black people go off what they look like.
Yeah.
So black people ain't got time to say budding. But it does. I mean, but also it looks like a bud, a flower bud too.
Right.
But basically, the nipple, it looks like a knot.
Right.
It looks like a knot, so they call it black people call it knots.
Right.
But it also looks like if you see a flower before it opens, that's what a young girl's nipple will look like. It will look like a little bud.
Right.
And then her breast will grow, and then she'll be flourishing with woman breasts.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So GMS is again, they ain't gonna wait for her to flourish, open, fully blossom. We don't teach that in UPK.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We go by the land of the law of the land.
That's right.
And we also go by, what the Bible says.
Right.
The law of the land is 18. So you wait till it says it's 18. That's that.
So, Shalom, you got the precept?
What you want? Marriage? Entice?
Come.
Go ahead and get it.
Caught out of common. Exodus 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her.
If a man entices me, what does entice me? Quickly. Go ahead.
Spit that game.
Right, spin the game, seduce her, woo her. Some brothers got picked. Got to get some good lines. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that. That ain't me. I don't know. I got mine is different. Every brother is different.
Yeah.
But some brothers got that line or got whatever whatever they can drop that line. They might make her smile or laugh or whatever. It works. Whatever works. You get what I'm saying? You entice her. Go ahead and read.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Right. He shall surely endow her to be his wife. Like, that's going to be your woman. You know what I'm saying? Sex is marriage. And like I said, I love going into this because, about saying sex is marriage because it saves, if you, like, with us, we have the knowledge. What I mean by having the knowledge of good and evil, we got the knowledge of good and evil. The good is these scriptures, the evil is what we learned in the world.
Right.
That's the knowledge of good and evil. So now, us learning so much evil, us having so many girlfriends and treating our women wrong, and as a young boy, like I'm trying to teach my little brothers who's not in the school, they think, I gotta get this amount of girls, or just, and not really to trust them, just to have sex with them and move on. That's an evil lesson they teach young men, teenage boys.
Yeah, come.
Get girls, have sex with them, don't take them seriously. It's all to have fun.
Right.
And not to, you're not really considering the other half, the other person, which is the woman.
Right.
So you're not really treating her like a human.
Right.
You're a young boy, teenager, you 16, 17, 18, 19, young 20s. And some grown men be 50 and still doing it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And you're not considering that this is a human being.
Right.
You can't just have sex with her and then roll out on her.
Responsibility.
if we know sex is marriage, it will stop that sister from having so many boyfriends, have so many sexual partners. You know what I'm saying? It would preserve her psyche and mental health also, and preserve her body physically. Go ahead.
Now, may I have a precept for the Philippians 2, verse 2, when you talked about like mind.
Go ahead.
I got it from General Muhammad. It's in Revelation 14, verse 3. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne,
Right.
and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000,
Right.
which were redeemed from the earth.
Right. This scripture is talking about once Christ, you know what I'm saying, once the prophecy is filled and Christ goes and Christ goes and just destroy America and build his kingdom on earth, and we now the earth is his again. I mean, it's his. He's a king, and that's what that preacher. And now everybody's rejoicing that Esau's reign is over.
Right.
That America is over with, and now we can get to a righteous kingdom. That's what that precept is about. And right now, all the elders. Right now they in the actual kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I may, the way he was explaining, he was like the 144,000. The song that we sing was the truth. And like only we know.
Right. So that's what So right. So this is gonna be men. So the Lord is gonna choose 144 men, and that who will know the truth, and also will be his army. Give me nation. Give me that powerful. I need 2 Maccabees chapter 11. 2 Maccabees chapter 11 verse 25.
Okay.
2 Maccabees chapter 11 verse 25. So they are not one-minded, and they teach, and the I.U.I.C. teaches brothers to brothers and sisters the wrong the wrong thing. They like here when you naturally follow the Most High and follow the laws, everybody, your family, your friends will look at you differently, and they will choose to get with you or to leave you alone. And I.U.I.C. they automatically try to there's so many sisters that have said, this man trying to keep me from my family. Forcibly just keep her from her family. We don't do that here.
Right.
Your family's gonna hate you. Your grandmother's gonna hate you because you're gonna go over her house. I mean, no, your family's gonna hate you because if you're really coming to the school, her family's gonna hate her because she's not gonna show up there for Thanksgiving no more. She's not gonna show up for Christmas. She's not gonna show up for certain things. And when she does come around, they ask her, she'll be able to freely go back and forth. She can go there, or it's choice gonna be on her, unless the husband gives an order like, don't go over there because of something, danger or whatever. But we don't forcibly keep our women from their family. The family and the woman, spiritually the separation will happen because she's starting to make a change, and she changed herself. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead. Who had the scripture?
Okay.
Go ahead.
2 Maccabees, chapter 11, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore our mind is that this nation shall be in rest.
Right. So this is our mind. So our mind, this is not the mindset of I.U.I.C. They don't care about restoring the nation. Right. They will lock you up. They'll they'll falsify documents. Like that's what National Day did.
Right.
And get innocent black young men locked up to get paid. You get what I'm saying? And they will tell women, if you don't have that ring, if you don't have the papers, then you're not married. They're destroying marriages. That's not how you restore a nation. But our mindset is to restore a nation. Read the first verse again.
Wherefore our mind is that this nation shall be in rest, and we have determined to restore them their temple.
Right, the UPK, we have determined to restore the temple. What does that mean? Anybody want to take a shot? Go ahead.
Bring back things in order, to order.
How or what order? How?
The order of the Most High.
Right. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna you know what I'm saying, we in one mind. We want to restore the nation by teaching them the laws of the Most High. We're going to teach them not to eat pork, crab, shrimp, or lobster, or to let them know what the Lord said, what to eat and what not to eat. We're going to let them know. We're not going to separate those families unless, you know, physical violence is happening, and then that brother and sister need counsel to know that not that, you know, have domestic violence. That's the only way you will have a brother and sister sit some time from each other, is if domestic violence is going on. But we ain't gonna, you know, a brother not gonna come to us for counsel, and you know, him and a woman been together, and they don't have no ring, so we're gonna tell them, "Oh, y'all not married." That's you destroying the nation.
Right.
That is not. What is that? What that scripture say again? The verse say?
It says,
After the rest.
and we have determined to restore them their temple.
And restore them their temple, like we're gonna restore the laws to the people. We're going to restore the laws to people. That's how you restore people, is restoring the law to them. Because right now, you got to think about how we act. Like right now, think about what we do. We move accordingly to America. We go out there and vote for a leader, and we don't, you know, we don't choose God or choose Christ. You know what I'm saying? We choose Biden. We choose to be against Trump because Trump was racist, not knowing that Biden is racist also. And Kamala Harris hates, you know, black people and loves to keep them in jail. She don't falsify documents. I'm not gonna say she don't, but I'm gonna say for sure what the proof is that she doesn't help. Like when they asking for her to release evidence or, you know, to look deeper into a case to see if these people are innocent or not. She don't care. She like just keep them in. You know, her attitude is just keep them in jail. Go ahead.
I had a quick question. A while ago, I remember I saw a class with General YAHANNA was teaching, and he was saying that she wasn't an Israelite.
No, she's not.
But I looked it up though. Her father is a Benjamite.
Right, her father. It says her father is a Benjamite, but he could be her mother for sure is an East Indian. He also could be an East Indian. Now, what we got to understand is a lot of East Indians have conquered the Caribbean, like Esau has conquered America. Right. So how Esau is in power over here? If you go to Jamaica, we just think like Jamaica's just Jamaica. You get just Benjamites owning and, you know, governing and doing anything in Jamaica. That's not true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jamaica, the Caribbeans are damn near second class in their own land. Right. Just like blacks are second class over here in America. Right. They second class to the East Indians over there. East Indians and a lot of Asians too, I believe, is over there. Asians, the Moabites and Ammonites are over there too, feeding off of the Benjamites.
They said that her grandfather was too. He was a Benjamite too. So
that's for sure up in the air. She for right now she's not. If she is, she for sure is a sellout. If she is, she's a sellout, and she loves to. Because she was a general attorney in California, and a lot of black people in California would hold up picket signs and protest against her because she withheld evidence. They asked for evidence they were asking for evidence for certain cases to prove if these people were guilty or not. They were black people, and she didn't care about assisting them to figure out if they was innocent or not. She didn't give a damn. Go ahead.
Oh, Slav yourself, if I may. Just to touch on what Dawud was saying. Mm-hmm. She's an Edomite. Because I Wikipedia her, and if you search her grandfathers, a couple of them was born in Jamaica because of the European one that came over here who owned one of the biggest plantations on the island of Jamaica. She's a straight up Edomite.
Either way, Edomite, East Indian, whatever. Piece of baloney.
Right.
She don't care about black people. She wanted them locked up.
Right.
Yeah, that's the main thing. She should not be celebrated. They want to celebrate her for being a woman vice president, but her track record is getting black people locked up, and her not caring about proving they was innocent or not, or assisting to prove they was innocent or not. We got move on.
Slav yourself. Time check 901.
Yeah, that's what I said. We got to move on. Continue to read that scripture, Dawud.
Come. may live according to the customs of their forefathers.
It's like Kazak. Tell Kazak, kill that noise. Go ahead.
Thou shalt do well, therefore, to send unto them and grant them peace, that they are certified.
Where you at?
Verse 26.
Okay, now verse 25, that's what I need. Verse 25 was just showing how that's the goal of UPK, which is the return, return the temple, return the laws, and to have our nation at rest. Right now, we're not at rest. Esau is our president is at war with us every way, with the drugs, with the having our families split up. Rather than the cop telling a woman she can't afford to have a child, telling her that telling a poor black woman that I'll give you TANF, I'll give you Section 8, I'll give you this, but you can't have no man in that house. I'll give you money, hell yeah, I'll give you money, but you can't have no man. In exchange, you can't have no man. You get what I'm saying? So that's the war that we at. Give me where we at? Last scripture. Give me 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. First Corinthians 1 and 10, man. We hear one mind.
I got 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10.
And it shows you also, I'm pulling these one mind scriptures and I'm pulling these like-minded scriptures to show because you know that IUIC, of course, their leader came from One West.
Right.
A lot of different leaders we all were in one group and they decided to split.
Right.
Issues do happen, but that's where the councils are called for.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Several different councils should have went on to keep everybody one body. But because you separated, you're not on one accord, and then you leave and then decide to teach what you weren't taught.
Yeah.
It's not that you left and then say, you know what, they wasn't righteous, we're gonna stay righteous and keep these laws. You went and lessened yourself.
Right. And
you went and reverted back to the world and teaching worldly things.
Right.
It's you clearly see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And when a lot of your women or just your men run back to the original school because you know that this is the only school, the proof is in the pudding, and it shows itself.
Right.
Like we're not, it shows themselves. When y'all, nobody called them brothers or called them sisters. They called the school.
Yeah.
And look, they treat us like this over here. And we let them know that's because you ain't in this is the real truth over here. You was never the truth.
Right.
You are in a church.
Right.
And you are being destroyed the same way if you went to church on Sunday. Same way you get destroyed on Sunday, the same way you get destroyed in that purple group.
Right.
Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that ye all speak the same thing.
We all speak the same thing. Everywhere we go, we're gonna say Esau is the devil. Everywhere we go.
Right.
Everywhere we go, we're gonna teach sex and marriage.
That's right.
Everywhere we go, we're gonna teach what to eat, what not to eat.
Right.
What's unclean, what's clean. We're gonna teach Passover.
Right.
We're gonna teach the high holy days. You know what I'm saying? We all gonna be one-minded. And we also be one-minded in checking something that's different.
Right.
Or anybody that's different.
That's right.
If you come in here and you're not like-minded and one-minded like everybody else, of course you're gonna stand out and stick out like a thorn,
right.
and you're gonna be dealt with. Right. Brother's gonna say something to you, and come to you lightly or chastise you, and then you decide to fall in line or decide to fall away.
Right.
But we keep this thing here. You became one mind, one West, and like-minded, and one accord.
Right.
Go ahead.
And that there be no divisions among you.
See, there be no divisions among you. Right. You get what I'm saying? The school split. There was a division. There was a division. But the thing that the big test there was to stay one. Was to take the protocols and to follow them laws. The laws is important when it comes to brotherhood and finding out, and getting to the end root of something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fact, get down to a damn conclusion, and we'll say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Get back to be one-minded.
Right.
And keeping it one body. Go ahead.
If I may, sir, Salakia, and this is a misconception that Christians and these fake Israelites have about being one body and being like-minded. They think that in order for us to be one body and like-minded, that compromise has to be made on both sides, when that is absolutely far from the truth. It's like, in order for us to be like-minded in one body, you must compromise and change. You say, why would you want the truth to water down to meet where you are? You should want the truth to remain unfiltered, unadulterated, and you compromise. But and they thinking that we should compromise on the beliefs and we also be one unity camp, but that's just Christian and garbage.
It's Christian and garbage, and it's selfish.
Yeah, kind of.
Like it's just about like you think you more important than the laws.
Right.
Then you gotta understand without the laws, we are nothing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we try to compromise. Like what I think, I think homosexuals, should be able to be homosexual.
Right.
I think, pork. You gotta think about pork is so accessible in grocery stores. Why not?
Yeah.
It's so it's cheap. It's if they run out of beef or chicken hot dogs, who's gonna eat this, huh? We gotta get pork hot dogs.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. You cannot you'll lose dignity, you'll lose discipline, and you'll lose strength by compromising like that.
Right.
The strength is in the laws. You know what I mean? The laws is the thing that strengthens us, and the Most High, Spirit of the Most High is the thing that strengthens us also. You know what I'm saying? When we you gotta say right now, the reason why black people went through slavery, right now, you know what I'm saying, we all living in hell, is because we have tried to strengthen ourselves with the heathen. And what we did was weaken ourselves.
Right.
We left the laws of the Most High, try to strengthen ourselves in America, and look who feeds off of us. Yeah. Everybody.
Right.
I was in Alexandria, I believe this past weekend. One of my cousin in the world came back home. He was like, man, back home, I just want to go have a beer. So, all right, cool. We go have a beer. The only thing that was open was like some Ethiopian clubs. But we went there because all black people are there. I'm going in there. It's full of black. They had like one little strip, and it's 5 different little lounges, all owned by Ethiopians, but full of nothing but Negroes. Right. So everybody eating. You go to the bar, Ethiopian. Go to the gas station, Ethiopian or Arab. Mm-hmm. Go to 7-Eleven, it's usually Ethiopian or African. You can smell the African when you come to 7-Eleven. You're like, them not the nachos, them you. You spicy, man. You know what I'm saying? You go to the 7-Eleven, you know what I'm saying? It's a heathen. You try to get some food real quick, it's a heathen. Everybody's eating off of black and Latinos, man. Right. We try to strengthen we left the Most High, strengthen ourselves in America, and this was the end result. We end up becoming weak and becoming the bottom. Right. We at the bottom. But now, if we come back to the laws of the Most High, we'll be strengthened for sure.
That's right.
Before we end the class, since I pulled that, I gotta pull Deuteronomy 4 or 5, and then we end the class. Oh, God. I gotta pull that scripture before we end, because that falls directly to what I was saying. Gotta pull Deuteronomy 4 and 5, then end it.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Right. This is Moses speaking. This is how we become strengthened. If we want our own businesses, if we want to be holy again, separate, and not be fed on by everybody, and not be at the bottom. This is what we must do. Go ahead.
Come on, God. Even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Right. No matter where we go, it's not leave the Most High and come to America and try to become American. You're gonna lose. Right. You're gonna become a slave, and you're gonna be murdered for being black. You're gonna lose all your damn power. But if we want our strength again, if we want to be strengthened again, read. Go ahead, Kazak.
Come on, God. Mm-hmm. Keep therefore and do them.
Right.
For this is your wisdom.
This is your what?
For this is your wisdom.
This is your wisdom. Everybody, all of us think, damn man, I gotta go to college, or I gotta work, I gotta do this. We gotta become millionaires, we gotta become rich. And then black people, we can do it again to become millionaires. And
Right.
I mean, the money, yeah, you're gonna need it. But to get there, it's about your mind first. Our mind gotta be one mind first. Go ahead, read.
Come on. And your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Right. This is gonna be your wisdom and your sight and the understanding of the nations. Meaning what? If we follow the Most High laws, the Caucasian, the Japanese and Chinese, the East Indian and the Arab and the African is gonna look at us a certain way. Right now, they look at us and they hate us. They hate us. They want our money from us, and they just want our money. Some of us don't even want our money; they just want to kill us and want us dead. But if you want them to look at us a different way, this is how you do it. Go ahead and read.
Come on. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Right. Now, the whole world, the white man, the Asians, the Africans, or whatever, we all come together following the Most High laws. You don't understand the respect you would get right now. You walk into the carry out, and they saying hurry up and buy. They tell you, what you want to order. What you want to order. It's no respect when you order the wings from the damn Asians, man.
Right.
No respect to us. No respect when our woman in there. Our woman solely man. I want to see how much money they got, and I know the Asians got billions or trillions, and it's from black women. They trillionaires strictly because women is buying nail polish, nails, weaves, lashes, and whatever from the beauty supply store.
Right.
We solely made them millionaires. Our women, we did.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But all of them will look at us differently and have more respect if we all become one-minded in the laws of the Most High. That's what the scripture is bringing out. Because it's saying, what it's saying, Kazak?
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Right now, all the nations are looking at us as wise and understanding. They're looking at us like criminals and thieves and money and monkeys and niggas and people who are criminals just can't get it right.
Right.
Now, if we come together, come under the laws of the Most High, and buy from each other and eat off each other, and most definitely follow the laws, then they're gonna look at them like, oh man, these people different. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be, when the news goes up, when breaking news happens, and they talking about a theft happened or a homicide happened or this and that. Imagine, we hear breaking news, and usually when certain things happen, we all watch the news and think, okay, that was a white man. A mass shooting happened, Oh, that probably was a white boy. There's an armed robbery at a certain store or whatever. Oh, them damn niggas. Of the crime, you can you can predetermine, okay, what race did it.
Yeah.
But imagine breaking news happening, it's a crime, and it can't be predetermined that a black Latino did it because those people are known for being holy.
That's right.
That's what this scripture is talking about.
That's right.
That's what the scripture got it. We walking down the street, and people got to know that. Okay, when these heathens see us, they'll know. Okay, these people right here were righteous.
Right.
Their judgments are righteous.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They'll start thinking these people are the people that should rule the earth because they're the best people. Like the Caucasian man, he's the president, but he's too violent. These Americans are so violent. They don't care. All they want is try to steal oil and gain and rape and rob and pillage. But these black people, they're compassionate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll have everybody at peace. They should be the rulers of the earth.
Yeah.
We only gonna get that way, and the heathens only gonna see us that way and know that we can rule the earth and choose us as their leaders if we follow the laws, follow what Moses said, which is follow the commandments everywhere we go.
Right.
And display that. Right. You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
The I.S.U.P.K don't teach that.
Right.
They teach us to be Christian.
Right.
they teach us to destroy ourselves, man.
Right.
That will never be in their mission at all. Only the UPK is the only Israelite school on the earth.
Right.
That's right.
Never forget that. For people who think I'm lying, you just heard what I said. These other Israelite groups teach you the same thing you will learn at church. Mm-hmm. If you think I'm lying, come and challenge us.
Right.
You'll see that they only teach what the church teaches, what the world teaches.
Right.
The I.S.U.P.K is the only one that teaches the truth.
That's
Right.
right.
With that class, let's pass the class of priest Noah Kazak.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are to off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. Means 10th in Hebrew. It is pronounced ma'asra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. 52nd Passover, Houston, Texas. You want to speak on that?
Right. The Passover, we got commercials on it. You know, so the Passover is coming up. It's going to be $200 per individual, per adult. $200. Make sure you get that in. The Passover venue is very big and beautiful. We're going to have so many activities: fishing, horseback riding. There's going to be so many things to do on that ranch. It's going to be on Player Street. You hit us up on YouTube and Facebook to get more information. It's going to be in Houston, Texas, and it's going to be on April 24th. That's going to be on a Saturday, on April the 24th. Come on down and see, you know, what you're really supposed to be celebrating and remembering.
Right.
This is, you know what I'm saying? Passover is black culture, not Christmas or Easter or Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Those are holidays of false God worship, or just straight up worship of murdering the murder of your own people, man. Come to celebrate Passover and remember when the Lord gave victory to your elders, to your forefathers. Go ahead.
Okay. Remind Akim and Akwafin to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, or scarf. And with that, say a mighty, which means to stand.
All right. You want to sit down for prayer? Let's sit down for prayer. Yeah. Never mind. It's 120. It's 920.
Give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amijim Shabbat, Amijim, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakathah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakathah.
Lasmatah, Saw, which means turn. Sisters, you can stand up. Give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amijim Shabbat, Amijim, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Alathah B'Hashem Yahshua.
Yasmatah, with that, class dismissed.
The Lord loved us so much that in our poverty, in our hell, I will come and deliver the broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people I'm going to save.
Young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough.
Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Brakatha. Yahweh Shema Alatha Bashim Yahushua to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000, the card of a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite School of UPK under Commander Jerry Yohana.
And you know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that?
Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander Jerry Yohana under the I.S.U.P.K. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do.
2021 I.S.U.P.K. 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy. You